Welcome everyone to our next episode of Sunday Prep. Welcome, Jim.
Hey, Father.
I hope everyone is good and well and healthy. And we are going with some difficulties here. And I always like to bring what is happening. What we are doing all this, so that you're like, oh, what's going on? No, today we have actually a problem with the Zoom. I don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. It just doesn't want us to do it. And
Yeah.
our yesterday's comment was, "Is the Lord that is stopping us?" But I was thinking about it actually through the day yesterday, and I would say, no, I don't think He wants us to do it.
Yeah.
He's more like the evil one who is trying to make
Yeah.
all the electronic stuff just doesn't work.
Yeah. I think Father Zig has said in the past when we've had technical problems on a night when we need a screen or a projector,
Yeah.
he says, there's a demon in that thing. We have to fix it, right? So we've had a bit of a demon issue with our technology yesterday. So we're recording kind of a second video, but for all of you, this is your first video.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of that aside, we're glad that you're here with us today.
Yeah. And we are glad, we are in some other way able to do it because, and then too, yesterday we were talking about actually going with all this, doing the videos and everything, and we are coming to 1 year anniversary too, which is an amazing thing. We were like, wow. So I don't think it's the Lord that is stopping us if He wanted us to do it for that long, but you never know. We need to pray that things go well. All right.
Yes.
Well, going back to our main theme, today's Sunday reading really are bringing us into, we can say, even a corner in a moment when we'll listen to the readings. And that is why too, in order to understand what we are about to meditate, I chose the first verse from the psalm that we will sing this upcoming Sunday. And this is the first verse of it. The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The decree of the Lord is trustworthy, giving wisdom to the simple. And as I said at the beginning, it's the readings will kind of put us in a corner, and we will find ourselves like, okay, what the Lord, why the words are so even harshly sounding, why they are so heavy to us. But as we will really go into simpler understanding of what the Lord is saying to us in the first verse of the psalm, the law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. If we'll look in all of our life, if we will look on the law of the Lord, what is really the law of the Lord? It is the love itself. It is the love that has given us creation, the life itself, being present, live. The law of the Lord is perfect because it's the love itself. It's God Himself, the law, the perfect law, the perfect love. And as we were meditating and seeing the readings for this upcoming Sunday, if we will look with the eyes of love, the eyes that God sees, it is not to condemn us, but to warn us in some way that we will be aware that the danger of the evil one, the danger of deceit, the danger of even feeling as a failure in life will come, and we'll have to go through it. But in that very moment, we need to focus our eyes on the love itself, which is God. And that is why the law of the Lord is perfect and is refreshing the soul. Because when in the moment of trial, we will look on the Lord, we'll look with the eyes of love, it will refresh us. It will refresh our body, it will refresh our soul, our spirit, and our mind. And then if we'll look on that decree with a trustworthy eye of soul and mind, the wisdom that God is giving us through trusting Him will become simple. And the life of the simple one as child, as we heard in last week's reading, will help us to grow in a greater understanding, greater relationship with God that we need to build every day. And so, as we'll hear the words of this upcoming Sunday, do not discourage yourself, but look with the eyes of the Lord, with the eyes of love, and be warned that the hardships will try to take us away, but the Lord is still waiting, is still refreshing us with His grace, with His presence, and with His eyes. Let us see everything that the Lord is trying to teach us by His words, and of course by the words of the gospel, which Jesus Christ himself gave us. And I think I'm going to pass down the microphone on the other side too. I'm sure Jim will have some other insights.
Yeah, well, now that we've had two times to reflect on this, my thoughts are, well, my first initial thought is I think whenever we hear about the laws, the laws of the Lord, they're sometimes used like in the Psalms here, kind of almost in a in a beautiful way, talking about bringing refreshment, giving wisdom. And I think the intuition for most people is to hear about the laws of the Lord as kind of a forceful, oppressive even kind of decree. But I think the history of the church, the tradition of the church has always been that the laws of God are actually kind of a source of great freedom and great lightness. It's kind of a, I don't know, almost a paradox, because our human experience of laws from maybe like a governing body is to kind of restrict and kind of hold us from maybe doing things that we might want to do. And the Lord, there we go, gives us the law, not to hold us back, but to kind of set us free, to kind of experience the fullness of his love. So I think that's maybe one thing to consider. The other thought that comes to mind is really the very last line here, the idea of giving wisdom to the simple. Now, an image for me, I'm thinking about this past weekend, my family and I, we decided to make a trip up to Lake Hopatcong and kind of drive around in that area. Now, we don't usually go to that area at all. For whatever reason, it's just, so I'm not familiar with the roads up there. And now if any of you at home, I don't know, Father Matt, if you know that area well, it's very kind of confusing, some of the roads and kind of navigating around the lake and, one ways and narrow streets. And it was very confusing. And so we had an address, we were trying to make our way to a restaurant, and it was really tricky. So we kind of were joking, my wife and I, about like, this must be a really tough place to drive, at night, or it might be a tough place to drive in the snow. And then I thought, like, we have a little GPS, right there on my phone on the dashboard. It's kind of telling me turn left, turn right. And, I don't know what I would do without that. You think back to the old days of like having a paper map and you're, trying to figure out where the heck do I go? Or someone gave you directions and they said, turn left on this street and right. Like, it would be really difficult to find your way. And I think, we can kind of find the easiness of the route, to kind of draw a comparison here. We can find the easiness of the route through a really confusing road system with like the use of a GPS system, right? Kind of takes something that could be really complicated and confusing and frustrating and kind of results in wrong turns and kind of gives us precision of where to go. And I think maybe there's something there that we can kind of analogously see how the law, right, the commandments of God, give us kind of a GPS system of the paths that we ought to follow in our lives. Like, there's a kind of focus that we get, a kind of clarity that we get, because without these commandments of the Lord, it's very easy to take wrong turns. It's very easy to kind of go sideways, to become lost, to kind of get frustrated, to then take out that frustrating on the person who's next to you, in this case, my wife, who's in the passenger seat or whatever. It's easy to kind of have tensions and more problems with that. And so there's a clarity that the Lord gives to us. It gives wisdom to the simple. You don't have to be a great theologian to understand that the Lord commands us to love our neighbor. You don't have to be a brilliant scholar and someone who's read just thousands of books and reflections to know that the Lord asks us to lay down our life for one another, to kind of offer sacrifice, to pray, to be with the Lord, to sit in his presence. Those are very simple things that the Lord invites us into. And the law, not just the, don't kill, don't steal, but the laws of love, the laws that invite us into God's grace. And I think in that law, there's a wisdom that even for the simple-minded, the person who can't handle maybe the complexities of whatever high, lofty stuff, it brings about greater wisdom than even the most learned person in the academia, So that's kind of where my mind is going. I think that there's a great confidence that we can have when we encounter God's commandments, not to look at them as a kind of rule book that we have to follow, and if not, we're going to be, punished or have some kind of like the Lord is just going to be mad at us always. Like, that's not it. It's this kind of instruction book to how best get to our end goal, which is unity with Christ in heaven. So,
well, that's a good example of the GPS. I like it. And so many times, even that will not help us.
Yeah.
It will take us away.
Google Maps can fail, but the Lord does not.
Exactly. That's my point. Well, thank you for today. I hope you, as always, enjoyed, and thank you for your comments. This past weekend, I really enjoyed all the good words that I hear from you. And as I said, we say we'll try to do our best to keep it up and going. Okay. God bless you, and we'll see you all on Sunday.
Bye, everyone.